Hello, everyone. My name is Ayman Chaudhary, and I'm the head of Global Compact Network Canada. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our interview series with sustainability leaders. As a network of responsible businesses and as the Canadian chapter of the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative, UN Global Compact, our role here is to inspire more businesses to adopt sustainable practices and contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals, which we in short call SDGs. This interview series is to showcase outstanding action that accelerate the global goals undertaken by our network members. Our objective here is to highlight ambitious actions implemented by leaders to fast forward the 2030 agenda through the implementation of the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact. Also, to identify and recognize efforts from companies accelerating the integration of sustainability into their core business management. We are glad to feature today Geoff Pegg from Telus as our sustainability leader. Geoff is the head of sustainability at Telus, and Telus is a UN Global Compact signatory since 2010 and also a visionary supporter of our organization, Global Compact Network Canada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Geoff. It would be great if you kindly share a little bit about Telus and your role in the organization with our audience today.
Thanks, Ayman. Appreciate it. Happy to be here for the opportunity to share. So Telus is a world-leading communications technology company. It spans wireless data, IP, voice, TV, security, and also Telus Health is Canada's leader in digital health technology, which is really working on improving access to health and wellness services, and really revolutionizing the flow of health information across the continuum of care. We also have Telus Agriculture, providing digital solutions throughout the agriculture value chain, and Telus International, which is a leading digital customer experience innovator delivering AI and content management solutions for global brands globally. So my responsibility at Telus is leading up our sustainability strategy for the last decade. Also is responsible for our environmental risk management, as well as business development with respect to environmental opportunities. And I have responsibility for a utilities portfolio and subsequently energy management as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that brief introduction. From your introduction, it clearly shows that Telus has a strong sustainability ambition. So I wanted to ask, what are some of the main drivers of this ambition at Telus?
We're passionate about progressing our sustainability and environmental goals. We have a foundation of strong governance. We, of course, want to take advantage of the technology that we have, but we also have a strong culture and commitment to our social purpose. And to your point, as signatories to the UNGC, we're committed to a principles-based approach to doing business. We want to operate, in ways that meet the responsibilities with respect to human rights, labor, environment, which is what my team focuses on, and of course, anti-corruption. I think combined with our culture of integrity, we're doing what we want to do with respect to people and communities and the planet. But then we also believe that, for our organization to have long-term success, that we must do these things as well. Essentially, I believe that when it comes to ESG issues, there's rising stakeholder expectations broadly. Our team members, want our organization to be sustainable. Our customers want us to be sustainable, and our shareholders want us to be sustainable as well. When we work towards our long-term objectives, of course, and meeting those expectations that I just referred to, our strategies really contribute to advancing progress on some of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Of course, the SDGs are transformative global targets that are intended to create the world that we all want. And specifically at Telus, we take action on 5 of the 17 SDGs.
Wonderful. Now, it's great to hear that you have mentioned SDGs as one of the drivers of sustainability ambition. So my next question to you is, how do you ensure that the support for the SDGs is an integral and deliberate part of leading your company's sustainability strategy?
Well, I mean, as I just mentioned, it's a good transition, I guess. Um, the SDGs that we feel like we are contributing to, I'll go through them one by one. First is good health and well-being. So I touched on our efforts in Telus Health. You know, we're really looking at how we can improve health outcomes for Canadians, digitizing the industry and creating that healthcare information flow in the primary healthcare ecosystem between doctors and patients and pharmacists, for example. So that's in one way that we're looking to improve health outcomes in Canada for sure. Another one is quality education, and that comes in several ways in terms of our sustainability strategies. One is, you know, because we are, you know, an internet service provider, we feel like we have a responsibility to educate youth, seniors, parents on responsible internet use. And we have a program that's called Telus Wise. Also, you know, more basic than that is with our network and connectivity that we provide access to education, particularly in rural and remote communities. And we're doing a lot in expanding our network, upgrading our network to fiber that provides access to these educational opportunities as well. We also support sustainable cities and communities. Of course, a number of the solutions that we provide at Telus help our cities and communities become more sustainable. And that's also supported by, you know, our corporate citizenship efforts, where we are, you know, we have the Telus Friendly Future Foundation that through our community boards is investing in local communities where the communities determine that there is need across social and environmental issues as well. And then, of course, importantly, very topical nowadays, and it has been for a while, is taking action on climate. And we have achieved our first set of greenhouse gas emission and energy use reduction goals. We've set goals to become carbon neutral for 2030, to have all of our electricity sources be renewable or from low emitting sources by 2025. We have set science-based targets in terms of achieving both scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions in our value chain. So I think I'll end it up by saying the last one, of course, is being able to connect with organizations such as the GCNC I'm in partnership for the goal. So one of the things that we've done over time is share our journey and in how we approach and support the SDGs. And you know, through the last number of years, we've had educational events, conferences, webinars, and we've been transparent in sharing our progress, our challenges, and disclosure when it comes to the SDGs as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Geoff, for mentioning Global Compact Network's contribution in helping improving Telus' sustainability journey. And also thank you for sharing the priority SDGs for Telus. As we have seen, like Telus has significantly communicating about its commitment towards the Sustainable Development Goals. And one particular challenge that we have been seeing that companies are facing is that measuring the impact of this SDGs initiatives. So as a sustainability leader, what recommendations do you have for your industry peers for tackling this challenge?
Well, one is just committing to try and do that and get out and measure. Now, that's not very helpful in and of itself. However, I think you just need to start somewhere. So even though you may have a longer term ambition to set, say, long-term goals with respect to supporting one SDG or multiple SDGs. It's okay to start with short-term goals, even like year-over-year goals. It's understanding the targets that are behind the 17 SDGs as well. And I would start with the SDGs that are most relevant to your organization. And I think my last piece of advice with respect to that is start with one, but let's make sure that if you're setting the goals and looking at, measuring them, is that they are transformative and not just something that you would sort of be doing anyways, and push yourselves. And that means starting with just one and try it there. And lastly is leverage the resources that are available through the UNGC and the local chapter in terms of helping you understand where you want to go and how you can share your journey in terms of measuring your progress towards your contributions to advancing the SDGs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Geoff, for sharing those excellent recommendations. I'm sure your industry peers who are listening to this interview will find great inspiration from those recommendations. We have also heard that collaborations sometimes play a great role in improving a company's sustainability performance. You have mentioned about your collaboration with UN Global Compact and GCNC, but can you also highlight some of the other Telus partnership initiatives that you think are really contributing strongly to improving the sustainability performance that could be inspiring for some of the other listeners too?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Well, first of all, it's a recognition that we can't do it alone. We need partnerships, and that's just our philosophy is engage with our stakeholders, and that includes partners, and partners such as the UNGC and the Global Compact Network Canada specifically. I mean, we are participating right now through the local chapter in the YSIP program. For many years we have participated in the reporting peer review program. Again, I mentioned that we wouldn't be where we are in terms of supporting the SDGs and setting targets with respect to the SDGs if it wasn't for our engagement through the local chapter over the years, and then getting feedback and input and having conversations with many of our fellow network peers. Taking advantage of the resources that I mentioned that are there, it really helps out there. I also recommend that organizations engage in industry associations as well, especially, and if they are not, ask them to start having a sustainability focus, and collectively with your industry peers, you may be able to learn and grow when it comes to advancing sustainability, and in particular supporting the 10 principles and the SDGs themselves. Excellent.
Thank you so much, Geoff, for sharing those great recommendations and your thoughts on a company's sustainability journey, and for your leadership in helping Canada shape its world sustainability commitment. And also from Telus's point of view, we have seen Telus doing some remarkable activities around contributing towards the SDGs, and we look forward to seeing the same in future as well. With that, I would like to conclude today's interview, and I'd like to thank you again for your time today and for sharing your insights with our audience. I'm sure we will hear more amazing news coming out from Telus communicating the commitment to sustainability and the SDGs. And with that, I would like to conclude today's interview series. Thank you so much for listening to today's interview session. I welcome you to attend the next one. Please stay tuned. Thank you.